current edition of News in Depth.
The government today announced new COVID-19 emergency measures to be effective from November 1st. In the official gazette published today, the government has said it has initiated a complete overhaul of the current public health response. According to the gazetted order, the government looked at the approach used in other territories, especially in the Caribbean, and has resolved that a multi-sector, multifaceted approach has been the most successful model, with an aggressive policy of detection, contact tracing, and if positive, isolation. Some of the measures included in the order are restriction on social activities. No person shall host, attend, or visit a cinema except for a drive-in cinema, a private party, a banquet, a ball or reception, and a bar or rum shop. Public and private sector, all persons employed with the public service or semi-autonomous agency, statutory body, or state-owned enterprise shall work on rotation unless otherwise instructed by their respective minister or head of agency to work from home. However, reports are that several government ministries are working at full strength. Private sector entities may be open, but employees shall work on rotation as determined by the employer.
More news after this break.
Shh! It's your new secret. The all-in-one weapon for perfecting imperfections and capturing flawless skin. A lot of brands forget women of color or just don't understand that we come in all shades. From caramel to ebony, there's such a range. Iman Cosmetics is for every woman and features a line of skincare products and cosmetics including 16 foundation shades, powder, concealer, lipstick, blush, eyeshadow, highlighter, and BB cream. Visit us at Lot 75 Swamp Section, Rosal Town. That's behind the market. Or call 337-4422 or 688-9249. Shh.
Are you having problems sleeping at night? Well, worry no more. Comfort Sleep mattresses are simply the best. Comfort Sleep provides quality products, factory fresh, and better value. With every purchase you make, you become part of our family and help to fulfill the need of the less fortunate. Comfort Sleep, as part of their corporate duty, provides meals for over 500 children in regions 3, 4, and 6, 3 times a week. This, among other charitable events, year-round is part of our mandate. What are you waiting for? Keep the dream going. Be part of this great family. Comfort Sleep, Eccles Industrial Estate, East Bank, Demerara. Telephone 233-3013 or 233-2657. Email comfortsleep49@gmail.com.
The government of Guyana has begun the rollout of the COVID-19 $25,000 household cash grant. Citizens are being advised that there is no pre-registration requirement. Clearly identified distribution clerks under the supervision of the Ministry of Finance will visit the respective households to verify credentials. Following this exercise, distribution will be done on a house-to-house basis. In cases where there are multiple households in one home, only the principal householder will receive the cash grant in the first instance. However, the other householders will be required to provide their information on a pink form, and following verification, they will receive the cash grant. The $25,000 household cash grant is in keeping with the government's promise to provide economic relief during the COVID-19 pandemic. The government of Guyana is committed to a comprehensive and inclusive housing development program for the benefit of all Guyanese. This is evident from its actions to date. However, the previous administration did absolutely nothing to identify alternative lands to house the persons squatting on state-owned lands on the east coast of Demerara. This illegal act was politically motivated, and poor and vulnerable individuals and families are being callously exploited for political purpose and private profiteering. Those lands have been identified for immediate and substantial cane cultivation by the Guyana Sugar Corporation. The information collected shows many of the squatters have proven to be homeowners, and yet the government has made every effort to engage the squatters and seek an amicable solution. Persons are being reminded that it is a criminal offence to illegally occupy state-owned land. The government cannot and will not allow squatting to be used as a means of acquiring land for housing. The government's offer to provide immediate, safe, temporary alternative accommodation to those persons in need remains in place.
Caribbean rice from the lush rice fields of Guyana straight to your home. Caribbean rice, our people, our rice.
Family members of 49-year-old Martin Rampersad of Bushlot, West Coast, Berbice are pleading for the public's help to ascertain his whereabouts. According to his sister, Kusila Rampersad, the man went missing 7 weeks ago.
Well, wherever you are, my dear brother, I'm kindly asking you to come home or contact my number 625-6850 or 322-1259 because everybody is so worried about you. And your brother Rajan died 2.5 weeks now. We were looking for you and we can't find you.
The father of 6 was last seen in early September, and a missing person report was made to the police after he was never seen or heard from since.
I left message as well as send my niece to go and report the station because I had one of my brother die and I had to do some run-ins behind he. And that is why I detained so long to look for him. But I'm continue sending my niece to go and report at the station and find out because somebody say he's at the Fall Farm. When they go there, he wasn't there.
Anyone knowing the whereabouts of Martin Rampersad can contact his sister on telephone numbers 625-6850, 322-1259, or 911. Melissa Khan, using that.
Range. Iman Cosmetics is for every woman and features a line of skincare products and cosmetics including 16 foundation shades, powder, concealer, lipstick, blush, eyeshadow, highlighter, and BB cream. Visit us at Lot 75, Swamp Section, Rosal Town. That's behind the market. Or call 337-4422 or 688-9249. Shh.
The government of Guyana has begun the rollout of the COVID-19 $25,000 household cash grant. Citizens are being advised that there is no pre-registration requirement. Clearly identified distribution clerks under the supervision of the Ministry of Finance will visit the respective households to verify credentials. Following this exercise, distribution will be done on a house-to-house basis. In cases where there are multiple households in one home, only the principal householder will receive the cash grant in the first instance. However, the other householders will be required to provide their information on a pink form, and following verification, they will receive the cash grant. The $25,000 household cash grant is in keeping with the government's promise to provide economic relief during the COVID-19 pandemic.
Caribbean rice from the lush rice fields of Guyana straight to your home. Caribbean rice, our people, our rice.
It has been 2 years of embarrassment, pain, and financial difficulties for 3 firemen charged with simple larceny following the Fly Jamaica plane crash. The case against the trio was dismissed last Wednesday when the matter concluded in the Providence Magistrates Court. That crash took place back in November 2018. The Fly Jamaica aircraft was forced to make an emergency landing at the Chelijagan International Airport minutes after takeoff from the airport. It was alleged that the firemen who were part of the emergency response team stole some of the personal items from some of the passengers on board the flight. However, Royden Kennedy, Aubrey Frank, and Jeremy Kingston, all throughout the investigations, maintained their innocence. On Wednesday, the men were acquitted of the charges and spoke of the emotional and financial toll the case took on them. All three of the men were interdicted without pay.
Right, for the past 2 years, life has been strenuous, especially in terms of finance, right? Because we would have not been paid. Work was, I would have not been employed, so not having any finance coming in. So it was very strenuous on me and my family. And to my family, to the mother of my child, my mother, my aunts, my uncles, all that chip in, all that helped me. I words can't express the amount of gratitude I have. So I'm very thankful for them.
Whole scenario at went down. We got wrong dealing it. We got the bad at the end of it. We got point for something we didn't even know about. It's like being punished for doing something good. Cause we went there, we did what we had to do, our job what we had to do. Finished doing the job now. Time to go back. You can't go home. End up in the lockup, spend days in lockup for nothing we even know about. Then, not being paid, I have to be going to court every month. Finding money was a lot of stress.
Me and my colleagues were responding to a crash, whereas we went to do our jobs. And that's the part that really beat all three of us, is that we went to do our jobs, and then something like this happened, and then it's just like something else. It was real hard for us, at least for me, right? And being in this situation and going to court every month and gotta finding money, it was real hard, real hard, because there wasn't no finance to say that, all right, you're gonna get a backing. And by the grace of God, and thank God for my parents, my fiance, my siblings, my aunt, that has been praying and supporting me and helping me along the way for the past 2 years. I must say thank you, and thank to God for helping me and my colleagues through this.
Kennedy was represented by Attorney at Law Asa Stewart Shepard, Attorney at Law Leslie Sobers represented Aubrey Frank, and Attorney at Law UC Anderson represented Jeremy Kingston. Both Sobers and Anderson said the case against the men had no merit. Now they want the names of their clients to be cleared.
So that case could never have held up in court. And what the magistrate found, and what we were saying all the time, is that the evidence here is tenuous. It is weak. It's nebulous. It can't stand. No reasonable tribunal could convict on the basis of this evidence that is presented to the court. And the court indeed found that. Now, another setback, which is quite fatal in this case, is that there was no virtual complainant. So here we have an allegation being presented by formal witnesses, the police and some firemen. And all the firemen could say was what they went to do and how they did it, and the police, that they did a search and they found these things. But no one, not a single person, can say that my client was seen receiving, my client had put these things in a compartment. It's not a case where my client took it back to the station and locked it up in his locker or anything like that. He left the fire tender and he gone hundreds of yards away from the scene, and all these other persons still have access to that fire station. It's not a case where my client had exercised any degree of control.
There was absolutely not any chance on a cold day in hell in a month of Sundays that any of those charges could have led to a conviction. Do you know that one of the issues in those charges, the item described in those charges, was among other articles, Now, what does that tell you? If I am charging you for a cell phone, I'm charging you for a perfume, and I'm charging you for an Acer tablet, among other items, what are you answering to? What is this among other items? Are those figments of your imagination? Am I to defend myself against figments of your imagination? Is the court meant to embark upon an exercise of ascertaining what it means among other items? That is actually what is written here. Now, whether that is the extent to which the intent was to malign Jamie Kingston and to make sure that every bit of mud thrown in his direction had a chance to stick is another conversation. I don't know. I won't speculate to that effect. But I feel particularly aggrieved that Mr. Kingston had to defend himself against a Saab perfume, a Samsung charger, an Ellie Saab perfume, a Samsung charger, and an Acer tablet, and comma, among other items. A young man, a family man, had to defend himself against those things.
One of the firefighters, Collis Williams, pleaded guilty to stealing 2 cell phones valued at $146,000 belonging to the pilot. He was required to pay a fine or face 2 years in prison. The young man said firefighting is a job they love, and if given the chance, they will be more than happy to serve once again.
I like the job. It's my passion. I would continue serving it if I get called back here.
The Fly Jamaica 757 plane was heading to Toronto, Canada, with 120 passengers on board, along with 8 crew members, when the plane was forced to crash land.
And that has brought us to the end of our news for tonight. For these and other stories, visit our website at rdproductiongy.com or our Facebook and Instagram page at Royce and Joyce Production. On behalf of our news team, thank you for joining us, and join us again Monday for more news. Good night.